had to go in unto the king and they said, okay, can I have some extra oil? Okay, can I have some more food? Okay, can I have some more cosmetics? Okay, can I do this? Can I do that? And everyone, asked for what they wanted. Now, I'll skip again to verse 15. Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing. She required nothing but what Hegai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. All the people that were chosen were virgins. So Esther wasn't necessarily chosen because she was a virgin, but yet she found favor. But what am I bringing out of this scripture? After 1 year, these other maidens asked for something extra. But the scripture tells us in verse 15 that Esther looked at herself and she knew that she was fit. She was content. She was satisfied. She didn't need anything extra. And I'm going to be comparing everything I say with the physical so we know, we see how easy it is to apply these things. Many times the people that put on so much weight, the people who fall into the obese category, are people who are not paying close attention to their diet, are people who are not content with what is just fine for them, are people who go for the extra when they don't need for it. I'm a mother and I say to my children, don't eat just because there's food. Don't just take extra because the food is yummy. If you don't feel like you are hungry, if your body doesn't need it, then don't ask for it. Don't just take a snack because there's snack available at home. Take it because you feel hungry, because there's an emptiness that needs to be filled. Otherwise, be content. That's a good way to watch your diet. Know that what you have is just enough for you. Don't go for the extra. Don't ask for more when you don't need it. It will destroy your diet. It will destroy your health. So many people have been found, not being able to control their health, not being able to take hold of their life because they are carrying a weight from the things that they have eaten that they did not need to eat. Don't ask for something that you do not need as a child of God. You need to have self-control, which, by the way, is the fruit of the Spirit. So don't go for something that you do not need. Don't ask for extra because every other person is asking for extra. Know what you need. Know what you're taking in. Stick with what is sufficient for you. Don't go overboard. Pay close attention to your diet because it will make for your overall well-being. And the last scripture we'll be looking at, we've looked at Esther, so let's look at a male figure. So we'll look at Daniel. Another very popular scripture that we all know, or story that we all know. Now, Daniel chapter 1, we'll skip quickly. You could read all of it, but I will skip very quickly to verse 5. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. For Daniel, it was for 3 years. They were eating from the king's table. They were eating from the same pot that the king ate from. They were drinking the same wine, the same champagne that the king drank. So this tells us that what they were offering to them, what they were giving to them, wasn't poison. It was good meal. Because you can imagine what is served to your king. It had to be good. It was from the finest butler It was from the finest cook that you could ever find in that city. Now, there were so many other children who were like that. Verse 7, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names, for he gave unto Daniel the name Belshazzar, and Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego. Verse 8, which is my concern, he says, but Daniel purposed in his heart that he will not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. This is Daniel. He saw wine. He saw chicken. He saw so many things that were appealing to the eyes. He saw food that he probably had not seen his entire life. But this is a man that knew what he was going for. This is a man that had purpose. This is a man that knew that he didn't just have to eat anything because it was available. He didn't just have to jump on all the things because he had the privilege to eat what the king was eating. This is a man that knew when to put a knife to his throat and say no to the things that were presented to him. This is a man that understood the times and knew that instead of eating chicken, I should be taking vegetables. I should be taking green. I salute a lot of people. I have friends who have gone off fizzy drinks, who just take fruits, who just take smoothies. I salute their courage because I know it is not easy. I know it is not easy. But they have found it, they have purposed in their heart that this is best for me. This is best for my health. And they stick to it, irrespective of the thousands of us around them who still take all the other drinks. They, like Daniel, had purpose in their heart because they know where they are headed. Child of God, in watching your diet, you have to purpose in your heart that it doesn't matter what anyone around you is eating. It doesn't matter what anyone around you is doing. It doesn't matter how good that meal, that deal they are presenting to you is. If it's not going to make for your overall well-being, you have to avoid it. You have to turn it down and you have to stick with what God has assigned for you to do and to eat. It doesn't matter what is trending. You don't have to be a part. It is a policy that you should stand alone as long as you are standing right. Stand alone. Be ready to stand alone as long as you are standing right. That's what Esther did. That's what Daniel did. That's what you and I are expected to do. Your life is in your hand. Your diet is under your control. You need to watch what you do. You need to watch what you cook for yourself. You need to watch what your eyes see because it begins with what you see. You need to watch what people say to you. Don't sit in the counsel of the ungodly. Don't stand in the way of sinners. Otherwise, you will walk their path. Otherwise, you will eat what they eat. And you will die how they die. Everything that you need for good success has been embedded in the scriptures. Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. This book of the law will not be out of your mouth. But as you meditate on it day and night, you begin to observe, to do according to all that is written in it. The scripture says, then and only then will you make your way prosperous and have good success. There is a time to eat. There is a time to marry. There is a time to eat just vegetables. There is a time to eat and dine like kings. there is a time to just watch and pray. There is a time to abstain from food in the physical and feed yourself spiritually. That's the time where you fast. That's the time where you subdue your flesh. That's the time where you take in so much balanced diet in the realm of the spirit. And that will ultimately keep you healthy. Child of God, make up your mind. Purpose in your heart from today to watch your diet. Watch what you see. Watch what you eat. Watch what you touch. Mind the deals that you go into. Mind the places you find yourself. Mind the people you sit with. In a bar, my dad used to always say, with people who always drink beer, but you say, I drink Maltina, sooner or later you may be tempted to taste their beer. If you are not going to drink beer, don't sit with people that drink beer. Sit in the company of people that drink the malt that you drink. May these words keep us. May they guide us. May they help us go into this week winning and living healthy as we watch our diet. And may the God of all grace make his grace abound sufficiently for you and I. Thank you for following through this broadcast. Until I see you next week, Monday, stay safe, stay blessed. God bless you.